Hello, Vern.
What's up, my
friend? Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my goodness, it feels so good.
Welcome to episode 1 of Brothers to the End podcast with myself, Gold Glove, and my co-host, my brother to the end, Vern.
Hello, everyone.
Say
it's
hello.
Your boy.
Oh my gosh, it has been a long time. It has been what, 5 years?
Three years since our last episode.
It feels like 5.
Feels like a long time. 7 years from our first episode.
That's ridiculous.
I did some digging. Our first episode, January 6, 2012.
Oh
Just
my goodness.
2 kids and a dream.
2 kids and a dream. Now, for those of you who do not know what Brothers to the End podcast is, excuse me, it is basically a podcast where we're going to be talking about sports, gaming, current events, pop culture, and pretty much whatever the hell we want.
Anything that I could even think of at the moment.
Yeah, so we actually started this podcast about 7 years ago. It was called Brothers to the End. And now in 2019, we have decided to do a complete reboot, restart, rebranding.
Just
run it back.
It was a biannual podcast.
Biannual, maybe.
On a good year, if it was a good year, we maybe would do an episode, and then it was just super. I think what happened towards the end was that we'd be streaming drunk together, and I would just kind of intro the podcast, and then if you went with it, we would do it, and otherwise there was no episode.
And it didn't happen very often. Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much ever. Yeah, I would say.
But we have committed to doing this bi-weekly, so you guys are going to be getting 2 episodes every single month, and that is going to be what we're doing. And I think Monday is the day we decided we're going to do it. I think Mondays. Yeah,
there might be some schedule conflicts at some point, but we'll definitely let you guys know on way ahead of time if that's the case. But we're going to shoot for every other Monday, pretty much. Yeah,
every other Monday, which I think will be a good day, kind of get you guys' week started and kind of gives us...
in a nice way.
Yeah, exactly, in a nice way.
I feel like Mondays get a lot of hate.
Dude, well, yeah, Monday. I mean, everybody gets a case of the Mondays.
Suck. Okay, fair enough.
I mean,
they suck.
We don't really have Mondays. As content creators and streamers, Mondays don't really exist.
I definitely have a Monday. Sundays are my one off day where I literally don't leave bed. And so Monday comes around, back on the grind. But now I got the podcast to look forward to.
So there you go. So you'll get your day off.
Easy.
And then you'll be able to spend a whole day laying in bed getting topics for the podcast. And we'll hit it hard.
You know what?
See?
Big brain right there. See? 200 IQ Goldie coming in hot.
So before we jump into things, I kind of wanted to jump into our backgrounds because I'm sure there's going to be people who check this out now. Or check this out that maybe have no idea who we are. Now, this is going to be on YouTube. We are streaming this live over on twitch.tv on both of our channels, twitch.tv/goldglove and twitch.tv/VernNotice. You guys will see the socials down below the video. If you are watching this on YouTube or on stream, you guys can check out our stuff there. If you're listening to this, hopefully in the description of wherever you downloaded this audio, you'll be able to find our links as well. So we are going to be putting this out on YouTube as a video podcast, but you guys are going to also be able to find it hopefully on Spotify, iTunes, and wherever else we decide to let this thing live.
Boom.
So we've got some backgrounds. We've been around the block a few times.
True. We are old.
Yeah, we're getting there. So we started. So I guess I can speak for myself first. I'm Gold Glove or Brennan. I have been streaming and making content for over 10 years now. I started a little YouTube channel playing a game called Gears of War back in 2007. I was a montage kid. I was constantly just trying to get the best clip. I mean, everybody knows all about the montage. Now it's all about phase trick shots and optic gaming and all these trick shot kids, in Call of Duty and Fortnite. But back in my day, the original montage was in Gears of War. And so that is what I was. And Vern has a similar background, but I
was going to say, not to cut you off, but I was going to say, I feel like we're just going to have very similar backgrounds here.
Yeah, we are.
I'm writing down everything you're saying.
I mean, it's slightly different because I will admit, straight from high school into now, this was my first job. Content creation, YouTube was my very first job. It's literally the only thing that I've committed to. I ended up dropping out of college very early on to do this full time. So I'd like to think that I have a good amount of experience in this field. Not only that, but I'm also the co-founder of a little thing called The Race, which Vern has also been a member of. And it's a project that has helped raise I'm pretty sure we've raised well over $1 million for veterans.
It's not very, very close.
Yeah, to put them into to jobs when they come back from overseas or after they deploy, which is a pretty amazing opportunity.
Awesome stuff.
Vern has been a part of that, which has been incredible. So that's a little bit of my background. Vern, you can take it away.
No, pretty much same but different type scenario. Started forever ago. It seems like now when I was a sophomore in high school, which means you were probably a sophomore in high school as well. And now 27 years old. Vern noticed on the interwebs. And yeah, I stream full time now. I got my start on YouTube long time ago. Mostly focused on streaming now, but just recently revived my YouTube channel. I didn't do this full time.
It's coming back.
Yeah, the YouTube channel is coming back. I'm excited. I'm very excited. You know, feels like an untapped potential there.
Yeah, absolutely. But tell them, like, where did you go after high school? What did you do before you decided to do the full time streaming?
I worked my butt off.
Yeah, you did.
Out of high school, I got a job. My first job was at a restaurant, and quickly after I started working there, I also got a second job at a daycare center, which was I gotta say, without question, probably the best job I've ever had, minus streaming full time. I was going to school part-time, working 2 jobs, and doing the content creation thing on the side, YouTube and streaming when I can. Eventually, I got a job at a factory, so I was working 1 full-time job and trying to balance everything out, school and YouTube. Then I made the decision to drop out. Just work and YouTube and stuff was just too much for me. I kept at the whole YouTube and eventually streaming thing on Twitch. And by 2015, I think was when I announced I was going full-time, January 1st, 2015. I remember because I put in my 2-week notice right after I got a raise at the good old factory job.
Stuck it to the man, huh?
Yeah, I didn't tell them either. I didn't tell them that I was leaving until after because I knew I had my review coming up and I was gonna milk that last 50 cents an hour that I was gonna get for the last 2-3 weeks I was there. You best believe. So yeah, I've been doing streaming and YouTube stuff full time since 2015 and started this little podcast back in 2012 with my boy. And now hopefully it's here to stay.
Yeah, so we obviously we do have some plans to bring on some guests. The formatting for episode 1 is going to be a little different just because we wanted to kind of, show or reintroduce Brothers to the End podcast and kind of let you guys know that it is a complete reboot starting from episode 1. Now, if you want to go back and watch some of the old episodes, I'm just going to warn you guys. They are on YouTube, and they are very, very different than what you're about to listen to in the future.
They're not going to be very, very different.
I think they are because...
This is episode 1. I feel like we're very tame.
We're
episode 7 of this, we're going to be drunk as shit at 4 p.m.
maybe
on a Monday.
Yeah, that's a great possibility. You never know what you're going to get with us.
Yeah.
But we had some unique segments back in the day. We have changed as individuals. A lot has changed for us personally. But I think we'll get into that in a second. But the formatting for this is we do plan on bringing in guests, maybe 1 guest, maybe 2 guests. We have plans to bring in some friends or possibly just people that we've never even spoken to about certain topics that kind of just present our interest, like,
if you will.
Yeah, maybe some experts. I got some experts in every field. That's not true. I don't. I have a buddy. I have a buddy that can probably give you a good deal on that.
You know a guy who knows a guy.
We all know a guy.
Who knows a guy.
So we have plans to bring on some other people in the episodes. But for episode 1, this will just be me and Vern kind of going through some stuff. And so the first thing I wanted to talk about is just kind of our recent history, because we have been doing this for so long. From our last podcast, which was what you said 3.5 years ago, 3 years ago?
Yeah, about 3 years ago.
So
according to YouTube, anyways.
Okay, so that just means in 3.5 years, I know a lot has changed for me, and I know a lot has changed for Vern. So I think we want to kind of go into just our recent history, what's been different in our lives, and kind of where we sit at now. So Vern, if you want to talk a little bit about that,
dude. Yeah, I feel like I can say that I'm a certified gym rat now. Is that a thing? It's very, very difficult to maintain healthy habits when you're a full-time streamer. I'm sure you could attest to that, but. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
We're sitting behind a desk all day long, streaming video games for upwards of 12 hours a day. Sometimes it's pretty ridiculous. And it's very easy to fall into these very bad habits where you're eating poorly and not working out and just not taking care of yourself. And I fell into one of those ruts. I kind of touched on this in my most recent YouTube video, but I fell into a rut and kind of just really let myself go. People say that you just let yourself go. And I spiked up to the heaviest I've been in a very, very long time. Heaviest I've ever seen myself. And recently got my stuff together and started eating better. And over the last year and a half, I've lost about 70 pounds.
Woo!
And that's, yeah, it
Hell
honestly,
yeah.
it feels real good. But that's become such a huge part of my life now. I feel like I'm super annoying on like Twitter and social media because I'm constantly like, oh, the gym today, blah, blah, blah. I'm eating more chicken today. But it's become such a big part of my life. And I think that's pretty much the biggest change that I've had recently. Obviously, I'm still streaming and stuff full time, but
I mean, it's impressive, man. When I met you, well, no, I would say a couple years into our friendship, you were,
yeah.
I mean, you were on that factory job. You were like staying. Your sleep schedule was crazy because you were on some weird work hours. And man, you were drinking. You were pounding monsters, man. You were drinking so many energy drinks, pretty much anything. Dude, I mean, I remember
horrible habits.
Yeah,
I would wake up. I had to be to work by 5 a.m. I would have my first energy drink by 6 a.m. And it would be like my little pick me up after I ate my breakfast, which I usually had with a diet soda. Like it was just all bad.
I mean, you got everything in moderation, obviously, you know, and that's the thing when you fall into those bad habits and you're not taking care of yourself. It's so easy to just like, this is my routine. This is what I'm going to do every single day. To change that routine, man. I mean, I know how hard it is for me to change a routine. So to see you do that, to see you lose 70 pounds. I mean, I've seen you, you know, in person recently. You look fucking fantastic, and I'm so goddamn proud of you. God.
Appreciate you.
So, you know, you got to gas your boy up every once in a while. That's the way you got to do it.
I mean, but you've lost some weight too recently.
Yeah, I got to put on some muscle. I think that's the thing. I've always been kind of a skinny guy. Like I was very, very skinny my whole childhood. I mean, I have a super fast metabolism. And I think I kind of fell into something similar as like I was streaming and it's so easy to fall into that routine where if you're not working or working on a YouTube video or streaming, you feel like you are losing out on something, or you're not taking advantage of the situation.
It's like FOMO, but for your career.
Exactly. And you feel like, well, if I'm not working on something at all times, then someone else is going to be working on that thing and they're going to surpass me, or or like people are going to forget about me. And unfortunately, like I think that's just kind of the stigma that comes with content creation and streaming. A lot of these streamers don't take time for themselves. They don't
Relevancy
balance.
is so scary.
It is it's very scary, and you want to stay relevant, but you also have people who just expect you to be there every single second of every single day to entertain them, and they don't realize that you also need time for yourself. So I think for me personally, it was just I finally found a balance. I still am working on that. The balance, the most important part. Found a balance, started taking better care of myself, started drinking less, drinking more water, eating better. And honestly, I that's pretty much all I did. I mean, I didn't really exercise or too much. And fortunately for me, that was all it took. And I did end up losing a little bit of that excess weight that I had, which was nice. Obviously, I'm still not where I need to be. I need to probably start going to the gym and get into a little bit more of a healthy lifestyle still. But at least it's the step in the right direction.
Making healthy habits at home is probably I would say it's way more important than like waking up and going to the gym every day. I could have lost that weight just making healthier choices at home, but it was very, very hard to break my addiction to sugar, which I genuinely still have. Like I'm so addicted to food and sugar that if anything disrupts my schedule at any point, like it is so easy for me to fall off the wagon and like run to a fast food place or something like that. Like I don't know what it is about just the way my brain works, my body works, but if like I don't wake up and have my breakfast at this time and go to the gym by this time, it's so easy for me to lay in bed and just be like, oh, well, let's order food today.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty bad about that too. I constantly eat out still. I don't cook, you know, healthy meals at home as much as I should. And again, it's I want to get there, but it's again, bad habits are hard to break. And you know, you get stuck in that routine. Like for me, I wake up, I do what I got to do, take care of my dogs, you know, do some chores around the house, and then I'm like, man, I got to stream. but should I cook a meal, or can I just order a meal and get some stuff done while it's on its way? You know, it's all about time. It's time management. I'm terrible at time management. Something I'm trying to improve on tenfold. So
just a pro tip for everyone listening, for you in general, you can make healthier choices.
Absolutely.
My issue was you could order out every single day, but you don't have to get like the most disgusting things on the menu, and then dessert, and then a soda, and then like just you can make life easy for you. Like I'll order a meal prep company because I did the whole cooking thing for a while and it worked out fine. But now I just like the time that I have when I don't cook.
Yeah.
So I order a meal prep company, and that's how I kind of bypass the whole cooking thing. But you can make life easier for you while still making better choices for your health.
Absolutely. So again, I want to touch on a little bit just the the formatting of this podcast. So again, Vern and I are huge sports fanatics. I think specifically basketball is kind of, we both are super into basketball. Obviously, we're huge gamers. We're both into gaming. I feel like we have very similar tastes in games. So we're going to be talking a lot about that. For me, I have been, I watch so many movies, so much TV. I think Vern is very, very similar. So we're going to be talking a lot about, movies and rating and just kind of how we feel about things. We will do our best not to spoil anything, I promise, because as you know, I hate spoilers as much as the next guy. And we're just going to talk a little bit about anything, just kind of random topics, whatever kind of tickles our fancy on that fine week.
Whatever I look up on Sunday and feel like forcing Brendan to talk about.
Pretty much, exactly. And whatever's, current going on, I think that's a big thing. So I think that's good for the intro. Are you ready to jump into our topics? For episode 1?
I thought since this is a complete reboot that we could pay homage to our first episode.
Okay.
And very early on, literally the first thing that we spoke about was taking a bullet for each other.
We did?
And I was just wondering, if you would take, and I was just wondering, you said that you would take a bullet. I said I would take a bullet if I knew for a fact I would survive and can look like a hero. And I was wondering if I was wondering if any of our perspectives changed. So somebody has a gun on me.
Okay. Do
you jump in front of it?
Well, this day and age, this really could be a realistic question because Jesus, this is actually going to be leading into a topic we have later on. Absolutely, 100%. If I saw someone pull a gun on my friend Vernon, and I would 100%. You're my brother to the end. I don't any end.
I still think I would like to know if I was going to survive or not. It might sway me in the moment, but I'd like to think that I would react.
Okay.
And hopefully save your life, and whatever happens afterwards happens. Like
this is a one-sided friendship chat.
Not true. Not true.
Okay,
I just
to be fair, I hope we never have to be in that situation.
I feel like
me too.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, as soon as I have a child, my answer might change. So ask me again in a couple years, and maybe that'll change.
Yeah. No. See, if I was you, you got a girlfriend and stuff. I'm lonely as shit. Like,
okay, so is that
the grand scheme of
does
things?
That change
like,
your?
You want a future? Yeah, you want a future with her. I'm like, I have a future. Who knows what it?
We
holds,
both have futures. There's futures for everyone.
I'd like to think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
I did not realize. Great, then. I did not realize that was one of the questions we asked back then.
I don't even think it was a real question. I think it just something happened and that's what you brought up. And then I was like, I mean, yeah, of course I would if I knew I was going to survive it.
Which I think kind of defeats the whole purpose of the question.
I mean, hey, just because I'm working around it doesn't mean that it's not
you're
the
tiptoeing.
question.
All right, whatever. I mean, that's fine. That's your answer. I respect that. So I guess that kind of goes into the first topic I wanted to talk about. Unfortunately, not every topic we talk about is going to be happy-go-lucky. But with everything going on in the world right now, specifically this country that we live in, the United States of America, mass shootings, like what's been going on, man? I mean, we had two mass shootings
over the weekend.
Yeah, one in Dayton, Ohio, I think, and one in El Paso, Texas, which is just, I don't know what else to say. It's ridiculous. And I think at this point, I know we personally don't want to get into too much political stuff on this podcast because, we want to, I don't know, we want to keep it.
It's hard. I feel like as streamers, like we have a platform and we have a voice to speak on things that are very important like this.
Yeah.
But I also think it'd be really, really irresponsible for me to try and educate you guys when I myself am still learning. Does that make sense? Like, I'm not going to sit here and try and preach like, oh, this is how you guys should think when I don't know everything. So I think there's a right and a wrong way to do it. And that's just to like, you guys need to arm yourself with knowledge and do your research. And most importantly, and this is what I think you wanted to touch on, is go out and actually vote. Because I think at this point is the only way that anything is going to change in this country. And it's absolutely disgusting that it's gotten to the point that it has so far.
Yeah, I think at this point it's just, again, it would be irresponsible for us to not touch on it when these things are going on in our country. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you what, how you should feel about it. All I'm gonna say is, do your best to do the research, get educated, so you can make an educated decision and vote on things that matter in the future. That's all I'm saying. I feel partially to blame because I'm 28 years old and I have never voted. And I think that at this point, I am ashamed of myself. I'm truly ashamed that I haven't done that. I think in recent events, with everything going on, I'm super ashamed that I've never voted. And so I registered to vote recently, and I will be voting moving forward. And I just want to kind of push that forward to everyone else to just, hopefully just push you guys to do the same if you've been thinking about it. Even if you feel like you can't make a difference, it's never too late to start. And, like I said, just get educated, do your research, and vote on things that you care about.
And it literally is so simple to sign up to vote. How long did it take you to register to vote?
Literally took me 5 minutes.
Okay. And it literally took me like 10 minutes to go out and vote. They make it so simple. There's tons of polling places. Like it's 1024% worth your time and effort.
Yes. So, I mean, and me saying that, again, I am ashamed of myself. I've lived in pretty much a bubble for a very long time. I'm from the Pacific Northwest, and I'm not naive to that fact. I've lived in my own little corner. I've spent a lot of time, mainly I've spent my entire 20s working on YouTube videos and streaming video games. I have 100% just focused on my job. That's what I've been doing. And for me, over the past few years, I've really taken a step back. I've really tried to reevaluate my life and tried to think about like what I want to do and who I want to be moving forward. I think even in the span of like the last year, 2 years, I've matured almost tenfold than from where I was from 20 to 26. Like I made a vast difference in my life recently. And, again, it's sad to say that. I wish I would have done this a long time ago, but again, it's
better late than never, brother.
Never too late. And I just wanted to kind of voice that and say that if you are in a similar boat as me, then hopefully this will be able to push you, to kind of take a look at yourself and make a difference moving forward. So
okay.
I just wanted to touch on that. Again, we don't want to get too political, mainly because I know, this is Twitch, so we're streaming this on, and this is going to be up on YouTube, and we are very entertainment, gaming focused. We want to make you guys laugh and have a good time. But I did want to touch on that.
Make you smile this Monday.
Yeah, we want to make you smile some Monday. We want to get you going on your week. So we're going to move on to a different topic, which is something that has been absolutely ridiculous in the last couple months. The NBA offseason. Basketball. Are you kidding me?
Balance in the world.
Are you kidding me?
I'm going to go on record and say this right now. Detroit Pistons to 2020 NBA champions.
Okay, well, everything he says moving forward, you do not need to care about because that is just bullshit.
Look here.
The Pistons?
Just hear me out. I'm going to pitch it to you. We got some really, really nice young guys, okay, that are really developing. They had a lot of opportunities last year because we suck so bad. And then we go and pick up Derrick Rose in the offseason. Now,
I hate to break it to you, but Derrick Rose is not going to bring your team to a championship.
Is literally getting back to his MVP ways this season. As soon as the jerseys drop, I'm copping one of them.
Okay. I would do that too. I would do that too.
Blake Griffin had literally the best season of his career last year. We have Andre Drummond, and once we recognize that Derrick Rose is going to be the MVP caliber that he's capable of, that is our missing piece. That is our missing piece.
That's your missing piece.
Derrick Rose is our early 2000s Rasheed Wallace. Like, boom.
Okay.
Tied up, nice, neat little bow.
So you're telling me that Derrick Rose, Andre Drummond, and Blake Griffin are going to lead you to an NBA championship.
Name a better three in the league right now.
Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green. There you go. There's one.
I scoff at that.
Damian Lillard. CJ McCollum.
Damian Lillard
and Damian Lillard by himself could beat that team.
I'm just big yikes.
Anyways, if you guys couldn't tell, if you don't know anything about me, I'm a huge Trailblazers fan. That might have been a little bit of a biased answer. He's a Pistons fan. I'm a Trailblazers fan. But this NBA offseason has been absolutely ridiculous. I think this might have been one of the, we had complete shakeups in this offseason. We have the NBA champion, Kawhi Leonard, teaming up with Paul George in the Clippers, or in LA.
Yep.
With the Clippers. Then we've got, on the other side, the other team in Los Angeles. You guys might have heard of them. The Los Angeles Lakers. LeBron James and AD.
Insane.
Which is just, I don't even know. The LA basketball is completely back. The rivalry that we're going to see there is going to be, the Staples Center is going to be
It's a good time to be a basketball fan.
Yes, it is. We've got LA. A lot of shakeups, man. We also have got Westbrook headed to the Houston Rockets to re-team up.
They are convinced is gonna work out.
I'm not. I can't wait. I can't wait to just see that explode.
It's gonna be entertaining.
It's gonna be an entertaining season. It's gonna be such an entertaining season.
This is why I think it's gonna be so awesome.
That's
because
right.
The last several years has been Miami Heat.
Yeah.
Warriors, Cavs, Warriors, Cavs, Warriors, Cavs. And it's like, this is the first season that I look at these rosters and I'm like, bro, who? Like, what's going to do? I don't know. What's going to happen?
This season, I am so excited for the NBA season. I just think the shakeups that happen, I'm going to go out and say Eastern Conference, man, we got to figure out something for you guys because Western Conference has just got even.
Pistons are going to sweep.
Okay.
Everyone.
Who's
in the Eastern Conference that are even going to compare to us? The Bucks? Ha!
The Raptors? The Nets.
Wow.
The Nets.
The Nets.
The Nets. KD.
No, the Nets actually just got really, really good. Kyrie.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Those two. I'm very curious how that's going to work out.
As a Brooklyn fan, how excited are you for this season? You guys were like, we did way better than we expected last year, but also now we have KD and Kyrie. Like, what?
I know.
It's so awesome.
We also have an absolute generational talent, first round pick,
Zion
Williamson going to the Pelicans.
Dude, he's a freak of nature. I'm excited for the Pelicans, dude. I am too. I think they have a really decent lineup,
young core,
and I think they're gonna do better than the people expect. I think they are. A lot of people are counting them out because AD left. But if their young guys perform at the level that everyone thinks they can, I think they're gonna have a pretty solid season.
And that is true. The Nets are not going to have Kevin Durant this year and Clay.
True.
Injuries are plaguing some of these large players, which is unfortunate. Now the Warriors picked up D'Lo, which is
I'm so confused.
Yeah, I'm very confused on that too. I've heard rumors that before the trade deadline this upcoming season, they will be trading him. So he will be starting the season with him or with the Warriors, which will be very interesting. Which I guess kind of makes sense considering Klay Thompson will be injured.
Dude, he's an asset that can get you more pieces to the puzzle.
Absolutely. D'Lo, we saw his stock rise this past season. He an all-star.
Tenfold.
He was an all-star in the Eastern Conference. So the NBA season is going to be looking real good. As a Blazers fan, man, we have picked up. I mean, are you kidding me? Have you seen our roster recently?
I have not. No.
We picked up Hassan Whiteside. We picked up
huge
Bazemore.
Literally.
We picked up. We also picked up Mario Hazonia. So we made some changes. We picked up some. I think we had to fill a center position because unfortunately Nurk is not going to be ready to go. I think when the season starts, after
you
that,
still have him, right?
Of course, we still have Nurk. Okay. I mean,
Nurk,
he's
so lovable.
He is a part of the Blazers of Rip City. We have to hold on to Nurkic. We love Yusuf over there, so. It's going to be an interesting season. As a Portland Trailblazer fan, we're always doubted. I get it. We're always doubted. We did get swept again. It was against the Warriors. All right. I think we don't have an excuse. Okay. We don't have an excuse. We got to figure something out, but hopefully these changes this offseason will make a difference. But hey, Western Conference Finals. Not too bad, and I'll take it.
I will say, you guys, it's probably exciting for you. You guys have I feel like you guys are improving every single year.
Every year,
like every single year, you guys are getting better, and you guys are getting closer and closer to the championship. And who knows, with the people you picked up in the offseason, this could be your year. Except the Pistons, dude. Tell me, but let's get it. Let's get it on the podcast right now. If it's a Blazers Pistons the finals, we literally will. We go to all the games.
Okay.
We fly back and forth. We travel with the team.
Yeah. Oh yeah. In the jet. Well, don't worry. I'll talk to the Blazers. We'll just fly in their plane.
Okay. I don't have the contacts at the Pistons, but
okay. I don't either.
We'll have to plan that separately.
We'll figure it out. We'll hide in their with their bags or something. We'll hide in the luggage.
I will carry their bags if they let me on that flight.
They'll
all of them. They'll make you wear all the bags.
You better keep hitting that gym. Me too, obviously. I can hold about one bag before my little bicep collapses. So, okay, well, at least one of us is actually strong, actually goes to the gym and gets swole. Yeah, you look good, all right? You look good. So,
thank you. Can you tell my future wife that?
Future wife that's listening to this right now, who is falling in love with Vern.
Your boy Vern, that is.
There he is. Marry him. He's got beautiful lips as well. Trust me, I look at them all the time.
Unless you're watching on YouTube or Twitch, you probably wouldn't know that.
Yeah. But, if you're listening to this, listen to how good his lips look.
You want me to smack him a few times?
Do it. Okay, that sounds disgusting.
No?
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be arousing in any way.
Our ASMR section.
Yeah, that was just so small. We're going to get an ASMR microphone for future segments. We're not going to do that.
Dude.
Suck on Jolly Ranchers? Is that what you're going to say?
Well, no. The ASMR microphones are literal like ears, right? Have you seen them? Yeah. They got like literal ears. And I was going to say I'm sucking on ears, but I don't know.
Hey, some people are into that,
Hell yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Me included.
All right. Well, future wife, if you're not my future wife, Vern's future wife, you're listening, he likes to get his ears sucked. Anyway, moving on. So you got some topics. You said you brought some?
So have you been contacted yet by your number neighbor?
No, I haven't. Thank the Lord.
Dude, the same. I'm on Twitter, bro, and I see all of these funny conversations. Like I saw one today, and it was really wholesome. This kid texted his number neighbor, and it ended up being an old man, and he was like, "No, I'm 57. I have grandkids. Blah blah blah. This is that's such an interesting way to contact someone." And
he was like down about it.
Yeah, he was like, well, the kid was like, oh, like you probably get all the ladies. You're not that old. You probably get all the ladies and stuff. And he's like, no, I'm happily married. And he's like, well, can you give me some advice on marriage and stuff? And old man John, I believe his name was, wrote. He's like, I'm not very good at advice, but he went on this whole rant about like marriage and love and stuff. And it was like such a wholesome interaction. And I'm over here like, I pray that my number neighbors have the same amount of social anxiety as I do, because random texts and calls from numbers I don't know make me the most uncomfortable. Yeah. So hopefully my number neighbor is in the same boat and we never find each other. I'm okay with that.
Why don't you just reach out to your number neighbor and maybe it'll be a wholesome interaction. It'll brighten your mood just like that one.
Or it could go. I'd rather.
It can't go south. The worst thing is he sends you a picture of his penis or.
No, the worst thing is
and then you block.
I get catfish. I send a picture of my penis and then it's on the internet.
Oh, well, here's a good rule of thumb. Don't send your penis to anybody. That's just a good way.
What if I am duped and a catfish?
But don't send your penis. It's a simple answer. And then you can't get punished for it.
That's just...
Do you understand?
Well, I would never... So here's the thing. It would never be unsolicited.
Okay, so, again, but... You're not going to trust it.
You're never going to send a dick pic ever?
No.
I have a folder.
I mean, unless
photos
you know,
that
you could
say
just
otherwise.
as long as your face isn't in there, you can just be like, "That's not my pee. That's not my penis." I almost said, "That's not my pee. That's not my pee pee. That ain't my pee pee." So you know that you could just do that.
Okay,
fair enough.
All right, so
just don't include your face. You know, way down there.
Would you be happy if you got texted by your number neighbor?
I mean, I might say what's up, but that's about it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And just be like...
You wouldn't feel like, even like being like a content creator on the internet and stuff like that, you wouldn't feel weird like some random person just getting lucky and potentially like recognizing who you are?
What are the odds of that? What are the odds of that?
With how big that Twitch is getting and esports, streaming in general?
Nah.
Dude.
No. I'm not Ninja.
You could be.
Ninja's a household name.
You're a household name.
Wow.
In this house? In this house?
Nice.
The only name we speak of is Gold Glove.
Not even yourself, huh? All right.
Hate myself.
Oh my gosh. All right.
I just thought that was very interesting.
It is interesting. Number neighbors, man. They're crazy.
I also we used to do this thing on the podcast where we would discuss scenarios, would you rather scenarios. And I had a few lined up. Some of them are pretty basic. Some of them get pretty intense.
Okay.
We don't have to spend a lot of time on this, but I just want to know, would you rather walk through a spider web every time you walk through a doorway, or have 2 flies buzz around you every time you eat or drink?
Ooh. I mean, I don't want my food to be interrupted. I'm totally going with spider web. As long as there's no spider in the spider web.
That was my thought process as well, dude. It's like I walk through a spider web and just kind of like brush it off and be done with it.
It's annoying, but
but I was at a picnic one time. It was a company picnic when I worked at the factory, and they had like a terrible fly problem this year. I didn't know what was causing it, but I almost broke down in tears. It was so bad, and I was just trying to eat my food. I was trying to eat my burger, my hot dog, dude, and I was being swarmed by flies. And it was to the point, you ever get so frustrated that you there's no other option but to just sit there and cry.
I can't.
You never got to that point?
I can't say I've ever done that. No.
Okay, I do it pretty much every weekend. And
I don't know if I believe that.
I'm sitting there like eating my burger, like holding back tears in front of all of my coworkers, and it was one of the most miserable experiences ever. And so for that reason, I would probably have to walk through the spider web as well.
Dang, you had like a real experience for this. Would you rather?
Yeah.
I thought most of these are like very hypothetical situations, but you literally went through that.
Well, I just had a situation in which it swayed my answer one way.
Okay, fair
pretty
enough.
heavily.
Fair enough.
All right, would you rather try to beat Eminem in a freestyle rap battle, or try to beat Mike Tyson in a fight?
I mean, either way, I'm gonna get absolutely trashed. But I mean, I would much rather be verbally trashed than physically trashed. Mike Tyson might actually kill me. With one punch or bite my ear off, and I do love my ears. I'm taking the rap battle. I mean, it could really lower my self-esteem, and I may not be able to ever look at myself in the mirror again. But I'm gonna have to go with the rap battle.
Okay.
Either way, I'm losing.
This one is a little more aggressive. Would you rather try and kiss your dad on the lips and tell him you want to suck his pee-pee? And you can't say it's a dare. You can't say it's a dare. So you just have to do it, or have one of your fingers broken.
One of my fingers broken. Because I've already broken a finger.
Are you sure?
It's not that bad.
Is that your final answer?
Final answer. Okay.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, I don't know. That one was a little bit more difficult for me, but I think I'm gonna, at the end of the day, have to just break a finger.
Yeah. I mean, I broke a finger last summer, almost a year ago.
You broke a few?
No, one finger.
Whole hand.
It was I mean, you know, fifth metacarpal. It's technically the finger. Okay, my pinky was a little broken. It just kind of was hanging there. That would be a broken. Okay. It wasn't that bad. It hurt, you know, it hurt, but
you say that, but also like you still have issues with it. So
yeah, no, it grinds.
Wasn't that bad?
It's, you know, it's got a plate and 5 screws in it, so it's a good time. It grinds.
Me too at the club.
Yeah.
Skirt, skirt.
Nice.
I'm just kidding. I don't go.
Future wife.
I don't go out, so you don't have to worry about.
You don't go clubbing?
Anything.
You don't go clubbing in Detroit? I've been to a club with you.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
I've been clubbing with you a few times. I've seen you get down on the dance floor.
No, you haven't.
That
doesn't happen.
You don't dance. You're not much of a dancer.
Even when you're very drunk. You know, like this is how you can tell that I'm about to throw up that night is I'm on the dance floor dancing. Like if I'm blackout drunk, like really getting it in the dance floor, you better get me home ASAP Rocky because it's gonna be a rough night for me. Probably a rougher morning.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay, you know what? I think this is a good time to talk about how I broke my hand on the podcast. I think
go ahead.
I'm going to talk about it. I'm all jokes aside, everyone's been asking, and I think it's been a year. I think I'm to the point where I can talk a little bit about it.
You're going to really talk about it.
I'm going to really talk about it. So, a year ago,
good.
And this kind of goes back to how I was saying like in the past couple of years, I think I've made a huge jump in maturity and kind of my mindset and kind of the person I want to be and the person I want to become moving forward. And for me personally, you know, I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm perfect. You know, I've had some trauma in my childhood that will randomly kind of pop up. I went through, you know, when I was a kid, I had kind of had some trauma that involved violent outbursts. Not for me, but I saw it and it kind of happened to me. And I think as an adult, when I get really frustrated or angry about something, I can also kind of have outbursts. I've never hurt anyone physically. That's not what I do, but I have like slammed doors and shut stuff. And this one time, I was having some personal issues, some family issues. I wasn't able to deal with it in the proper ways or channel it in the proper ways. I was bottling up a lot. And I just kind of exploded. I got very angry in the moment, and my dumbass punched the wall. That's what I did, chat. That's what I did. I broke my hand. It's called a boxer's fracture. I punched the wall straight up.
Stupid.
Punched the wall many times. Just
broke his hand and then kept punching.
Broke my hand on like the second punch and just kept punching. And I was an idiot and broke my own hand. That's literally how I did it. And then, you know, I obviously had to pay for surgery and all that stuff. And I think that was kind of a wake up call for me. That was like when I mentally hit rock bottom and I was like, man, I am depressed. I'm angry. Like I've obviously got some issues that I need to sort through. You know, at 26, 27 years old, I was like, man, there's a lot of things that I still have up in this silly brain of mine that I just have never sorted out in my entire life. And since that day, that kind of pushed me to really start taking more care of myself mentally. And so that's when I was like, you know what? I need to go talk to somebody. I've been seeing a therapist ever since. I've just had a way better outlook. I feel like I've just been more me, to be honest. Like as shitty as it was a terrible experience in the moment. It was like my lowest point. I'm so glad that it happened to me because it really made me get my life back on track and really made me focus on the good shit, you know, like what I need to be doing moving forward. And it put things into perspective and really made it so I needed to focus on my self-care and worry about myself mentally.
It's so important. We were talking about that earlier. It's so important.
It is.
I grew up really angry, and I know firsthand that it's not fun. But sometimes, just in the moment, you really don't have any other way to get that aggression or frustration out. That's why I think there's always, I don't know what it is, but there's like this bad stigma around seeing a therapist and stuff. And I think just being able to talk to somebody who is completely in 100% unbiased towards you and your situation is one of the most helpful things that you could possibly do.
Absolutely.
Like you get sure, like I have an issue, I come to you with it, but you're like, for the most part, you're going to be on my side no matter what I do, what I said. I mean, don't get me wrong. You've been like, Vern, you're dumb. Don't do that.
Yeah.
But also, I feel like you're not going to give me the perspective that I might need in a situation that is something like that, you know?
Yeah, I mean, talking to people is so important, you guys. Like, I've been one of those individuals. Like, my whole childhood, you know, I was in a situation where I needed to essentially keep everything bottled up, or at least I felt I did. Excuse me. And so like I just learned how to cope with things on or at least on my own, and everything, all my emotions, I would just shut down, keep it all bottled up, and basically just shove it down and ignore it. That is not healthy. It is not healthy because it will always pop back up in some form. And for me, that was the way it popped up. And I just like, I saw red, I freaked out, and I basically just beat the shit out of a wall and broke my own hand. That was, and I was like, I'm an idiot. I'm a fucking idiot. Like, why did I do this? I'm an idiot. Like,
dude, that's why I cry every single Sunday now. Like some people, it's like part of my routine. I'm dead ass, dude. I used to play this game with myself where like I would just let things pile up and like just see how much I could handle emotionally, physically, until I like had an actual breakdown, and I would like ghost the internet for 2 days and like just peace out. And now I'm just like, there's much healthier ways to handle things.
Absolutely.
And I feel like if anyone is going through anything, there are a lot of outlets.
Talk to people.
That you could talk to
people. And I get it. Mental health, especially therapists and counseling, can be very, very, very expensive. There are cheap alternatives. There are ways to talk to people to get help. I know it can be hard to find the right person that you click with. That can be very, very difficult. You know, if you find someone that's willing to talk to you, but you're like, man, I can't really talk to this person, or I don't feel comfortable talking to this person, maybe that person's not for you. It doesn't mean you should give up. Maybe you should try to find somebody else. I'm dead serious. It has been absolutely life-changing for me. I think, you know, I was ashamed of it at first, but you know what? I think the whole mental health stigma is so ridiculous. It doesn't make you weak. It makes you a normal human being. Everyone's going through their own shit. Everyone's got different trauma and different things from their childhood that they have to deal with, and everyone deals with things differently. So don't be afraid to talk to people, and you know, it's going to help you out tremendously. I promise you, it will make a difference in your life. So that is the real story with the hand, and I wanted to tell you guys because
I'm happy you got that out, dude.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, me too. It's kind of out there because I feel like, you know, I've been joking about it because I didn't really know how to explain it to people, because I felt like people would always take it the wrong way. Like, oh man, dude, you have anger problems. Like, you can't, like, come on, man. I can't believe
being
you
in the public
eye.
It's a little bit different. Like,
it is.
To like growing up, I like I said, I was very, very angry growing up. I hit shit all the time. I had metal doors. They were like a thin like sheet metal for my closet in my bedroom when I was growing up, and I would hit those all the time. It got to the point where like I folded one in half, and we literally just had to like take them out. I didn't have closet doors anymore for like ever until I moved from the apartment. But I don't know. It's just like it's not uncommon, dude. It's not uncommon to have anger issues, and I feel like it's better to just get it out and talk about it, because it's not something you should be embarrassed of. Remember when you spiked the controller?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was embarrassed by that.
Everyone else. But that's the thing. I remember I was so upset that you felt the need
to apologize,
to go on Reddit and post an apology. I was so frustrated with that. I was like, I've spiked controller. Like, people get mad, but then like being in the public eye, it's different.
It is different, and you know,
and I feel like that's why it was a little bit harder for me.
I apologize because I have changed. Like, I don't think I would spike a controller ever again. Like, I truly believe that. Like, I've calmed down. I mean, yes, Gears of War, which we're going to talk about, Gears of War, which is our favorite shooter, I think, of all time for both of us. We're going to talk a little bit about that game, but it took me back. It takes me back to like that competitive side of me when I was like 19 years old, where I was younger. I obviously had not talked through a lot of my issues. I was angry, and every time I play it, I feel very similar to that. And I just like, I got pissed and just threw the controller and smashed it. And then I was instantly like, I shouldn't have done that. It's such a horrible example. Like, kids are going to look at that and watch that and be like, oh, if I'm really mad at a game, this is how I can act and it's okay. I don't think that's actually okay to do. Yes, I was a grown man when I did it, and it is something that I owned that I broke, but that still, it just wasn't right. In my opinion.
That was fire content for me, dude.
Okay, yeah, it might have been a funny video, but I felt ashamed. I felt ashamed of myself right after. So
when I first got my first job ever, one of the first things I bought myself was a wireless headset for an Xbox. I don't know if you guys remember them, but it was like a wireless headset with a a microphone. It was like $60 or something like that, and I just bought it with my own money. And I was like one of the first expensive things that I purchased for myself. And I got mad one time, and I whipped it at the wall, and it shattered. And I instantly broke down in tears, bro. I was 17 years old. I broke down in tears. I was like, I'm so dumb.
That's $60 of your own money.
This is literally, and I was making. This is when I worked at a restaurant, so I was making $4.25 an hour. I was like, this is like 3 months worth of work.
Oh,
like
man.
I just spiked into the wall.
Yeah.
And
well, lesson learned. Lesson learned, right?
Lesson learned. Yeah, 100%.
You're like, I'm an idiot.
That's when I started hitting closet doors.
Oh my gosh. Well, you know what? I think the older you get, the more mature you get. Obviously, you start to calm down. You start to kind of you're able to unpackage all these things that you're feeling, and you know, it'll just get better with time. You know. Nothing happens overnight. I truly believe that. I'm a huge advocate of that. Like, you're not going to just flip a switch and then be a completely different person. You know, it takes time. It takes experiences. You got to go through. Sometimes you got to go through the hardships and the bad times to really put things into perspective for you. And that's just kind of a part of life. That's just what you do.
Try and be self-aware.
Yeah.
You don't want
to learn.
You want to make the healthier and better decisions before you break your hand.
Amen, brother. You know? Amen. I mean, now I have a reminder.
If you can avoid it, right?
You know what?
Yeah.
Now I have a reminder.
Hand starts cramping up, dude. You're like, man.
Every single time, I'm like, man. If I had just talked about some things and I hadn't got that angry, my hand would still be good. I'd still have 2 perfect hands. But now I've got this bone that grinds every day. I'm like, God, I wish I wouldn't have done that. But it's a reminder. And every day I'm like, you know what? I learned my lesson. I'll never do it again. And it was, like I said, it was really shitty when it happened, but it really, really changed my outlook and kind of just forced me to really take a step back and be like, am I doing things right? Like, is this who I want to be, or do I need to move forward? I need to make some changes. And it forced me to, man. And that was a year ago. It happened last August. And I truly think that it was one of the best things that's ever happened to me. And as shitty as it was, I'm glad it happened. I'm glad I did it, because it forced me to shape up a little bit. So yeah, it's out in the open. It's there. You know, sometimes you just got to own up to your mistakes. You got to always own up to your mistakes. You really got to do it. That's how you grow.
Dude, that's why what frustrates me so much about League of Legends, dude. Just no one can admit they fucked up.
Yeah, you think you can? When you fuck up in League of Legends?
100%. Oh, dude, I know I'm terrible at the game. And when I do something wrong, like, I don't need my teammates telling me. I'm so aware of it. But speaking of childhood trauma, do you want to jump down you want to take a nostalgia trip with me?
Oh gosh,
I got a few things in front of me.
Oh gosh,
and I want to see if you remember. Most of them you should remember. There's maybe one or two on here that you might not.
Okay.
But this was trending on Twitter. Okay. I think a couple days ago is hashtag I'm old enough to remember, and these are a few that I took from there.
Oh, so this isn't about childhood trauma. This is just like nostalgic things from our childhood.
Oh yeah, no, I mean it could have.
Oh jeez,
okay. Childhood trauma.
I was like, trauma specifically. Okay, I see what you mean.
First on the list is Heelys.
Heelys. I mean, that's not like from my child. I feel like that was after I was
middle school.
Yeah, I guess.
They got banned from my middle school.
You know what I think of Heelys when I hear Heelys?
They just recently came back.
I just think of Toby Turner.
Really?
That's all I can think of.
I don't associate that with Toby Turner, but you know what they are. Did you have a pair?
No, I never did.
You didn't?
No.
So I did.
Okay.
And pretty much everyone in my middle school did.
Did you break something?
To the point where my school had to ban them.
Really?
Like, we weren't allowed to. Yeah, we were allowed to wear the shoes, but if we had the wheel in the heel, they would literally call our parents, and they'd either have to pick us up, take us home, or bring us new shoes.
Were kids just like falling, getting hurt, or like just causing?
It was probably a combination. Oh, for sure. Yeah. What else are you gonna do in Heelys?
Shoot, man. I mean, hey, if the kids are getting to class earlier, they wouldn't be.
Dude, yeah, I don't know. They wouldn't be. Okay. So, a Motorola Razr.
Yeah, I had a Razr.
Did you? I never did. That was always like I don't know, man. Dude, I had a Virgin Mobile prepaid phone.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that's not nearly as bad as what I had. So my sophomore, junior year of high school, everyone was getting cell phones. I didn't have a cell phone still. And my mom was like, all right, I'll get you a cell phone. So I'm like, yeah, she's going to get me a cell phone, dude. I'm so excited. Like, finally, I can be like everybody else. Yeah. And so like I get home from school and she's like, oh, I got you a phone. I'm like, oh, cool. And she's like, here it is. She hands me this flip phone, and guess Guess what kind of phone it was? It was a Disney flip phone.
I remember this.
It was a Disney flip phone. Disney. And I look at her.
Had like 4 buttons on it. You can only call your mom and the police.
I'm like, Mom. She's like, what? It's got parental controls. I can see. I can monitor your stuff. I'm like, Mom, I'm 15 years old. Mom, are you kidding me? I'm like, no. I just straight up told her no. And she's like, what? What's wrong with it? I'm like, no. I'm not going to high school with a Disney phone. And so...
Did you?
Yeah, I did. But I didn't take it out of my bag. I hid it in my backpack. She's like, well, I already bought it, and you got a plan. So I'm like, oh, my God.
His mom's calling him. He's like, I can't answer now, Mom. You're going to have to assume I'm okay.
Pretty much. I didn't answer. I just would shoot. I'd, in my backpack, pull it out, and just kind of text real quick. And then I would send it. And then finally, I finally convinced her, because the phone was a piece of crap. Like, it was not a good phone.
Yeah.
And so she eventually was like, okay, I'll get you a different phone. But I did have it for like 2 weeks, and I didn't show anybody. Like, I think this is maybe only the second time I've ever talked about it. I was so embarrassed. And so my next phone was literally a Motorola Razr. That was the next phone. And I was like, okay,
awesome.
That's an upgrade. I'll take that. So
yeah, I think my first phone was the Nokia brick phone. Prepaid, and then I upgraded to a Virgin Mobile flip phone.
Yeah, you ever had a Sidekick?
No, dude. that was the cool kids had a Sidekick. I was not a cool kid.
I eventually had a Sidekick, but I never had the Sidekick that flipped. I had the Sidekick slide, which I actually liked. Oh,
the slider. Yeah,
I had the slide one, which I really liked. Man, the Sidekick was a good time back in the day. If you had a Sidekick, bro, everybody knew you were.
It was like a click. It was a whole click,
and you were. And you were good at texting.
Texting on their Sidekick, bro. You could just whip yours out and they'd be like, "Oh, what's up, Brennan?"
Yeah.
I don't think I got your number.
Just like that. Actually. That's how I met everybody.
You want to text me on my Sidekick? You got
everybody that had Sidekicks knew Sidekicks.
I was never part of that circle.
Yeah,
so
it was pretty exclusive. It was pretty cool back in the day.
Do you remember Walkmans?
Yeah, of course.
Did you have I'm talking cassette Walkmans. I never had a cassette Walkman. My first Walkman was a CD player, and that was not, I don't think those are considered like, it's the brand Walkman, but it was never.
So I had a cassette Walkman, and I also had, it was a hand-me-down. Like, I got it from like my uncle or my mom or something. And then I had a Discman, like a Walkman disc player. That's what I had. And it didn't have anti-skip protection. Like, so dude, you'd have to like hold it still. Like, you couldn't actually move it. It wasn't mobile because the CDs would just skip constantly. And
any sort of movement.
Yeah, any kind of movement. So
like you were in an earthquake, bro.
Yeah, the whole time you're like, you can't even listen to this shit. So you basically had to put it on a table anyway or a flat surface. And I was like, this is not mobile. You can't move with it. Yeah, that was the struggle, man. Now kids, you see, kids will never understand the struggle like that. Never.
Okay.
They don't even know what discs are.
Dude, for real. Staying on. Okay, this is the one that I think is going to get you.
Okay.
Because I actually didn't remember these until I saw a picture of them. A little thing called hit clips.
Hit clips? What are hit clips?
Hit clips.
Hit clips.
Okay, so I'm gonna assume from that reaction you don't know. While you look it up, I'll explain. It was literally a tiny little portable device.
Oh my gosh.
It came with a singular like cartridge that you put into it, and it played one song. It was a hit clip, and this is back when like NSYNC was popular. You could like pop your one song, NSYNC song, and listen to that one song on repeat. You could carry around other hit clips, and you'd put it in there.
And it was like a keychain, right?
Yeah, it was only like 40 seconds. It was like a piece of the song.
Oh, it was literally a
whole
clip.
song. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Like looking back on it now, it seems like the most useless product I've ever seen. But it was very popular. I remember having one.
That's so funny. I do remember.
Maybe there was a promotional. It was a promotional thing for something. Dude, I know you could buy them, but maybe I don't know. They partnered with some. Dude, I remember like maybe like we went to a fast food place and they like if you got a Happy Meal or something, they gave you one.
Probably. That sounds like something you get in a Happy Meal for sure. Yeah, no, I do remember those. I don't think I had any, but maybe. I mean, especially if they were that small, they're a keychain. Maybe I had a bunch of them. I can't really remember. Dude, interesting.
That's old school.
That is old school.
Tamagotchis.
Yeah, definitely had some Tamagotchis.
You remember?
Oh
You
yeah,
had some?
and I remember it. Yeah, I had a couple.
Dude, I don't know what dude, they were so popular.
Dude,
so popular.
They were.
And I don't know why. Like I looked at them recently. I remember having one, and I remember like recently thinking like, oh, it would be so fun to have a Tamagotchi to kill some time while I'm like running on a treadmill or something. And I looked, they were
they're not going to keep you that busy.
No.
Like you literally just feed them little pixels.
Did it shit today?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. I remember, you know what? I do have a story about a Tamagotchi. I remember I had a Tamagotchi. I fell in love with it. You know, this is a virtual pet. I had dogs and cats, but apparently I was more in love with this virtual pet. Oh, you know, I could give one little digital pixel of fish food to. And I remember I was like, Mom, I'm going camping, but I can't. I don't want to take this with me. I don't want to lose it. Mom, can you make sure you take care of my Tamagotchi? Bro, I was only gone for like 2 weeks. I come home so excited, you know, in the car, like, oh, my Tamagotchi. I can't wait. I come home and the Tamagotchi was in the same spot in my drawer, and I open it and he was dead. He was dead, and I'm just started busting down, crying again. Like I'm like 6 years old.
She killed your pet.
And my mom, she's bless her heart, she's a good person. She felt so bad. She went and bought me another one. Or could you reset them, or did they just die?
I think you just reset.
Or she reset it or something. But I was too little to understand that, because I think you had to like hit the little pin in the back to reset it. So she like reset it for me, and then I was still sad. It didn't fix it. I still cried. I was like, no, you killed him. No, this is not the same one. This is not the same one.
When your pet dies and your parents try to replace it, you have a fish and your mom brings back home another fish after yours died and trying to play it off like it's still Gary. It's not Gary, Mom. I know what Gary looked like, and this is not him.
I know. Dude, I think that's right there is the specific time where the childhood trauma kicked in. That's the one, man. I think that's probably why I broke my hand.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, you know, that's got to be it. The Tamagotchi, dude.
Dude, I'm happy we were able to get this
Come on, mama. Come on, mama. Well, you got a couple more in there? You got a couple more nostalgic things? We can go. Last
one. Away messages.
Oh, yeah.
You have to. Yeah, I was going to say you have to.
Dude, I'm so embarrassed. I cannot believe. This reminds me of something. We're talking about like AI. We're talking about AIM. AIM.
Yeah.
Okay.
AIM, instant messenger.
Yeah. So everyone had AIM. That was like a middle school thing for me. Maybe like freshman year of high school, I still had AIM. I think. But then it like really made a push over to Facebook, and we kind of all moved over to that kind of stuff, and like MySpace, Facebook. But I remember AIM. My 12, 13, 14-year-old ass. You want to know what my AIM username was? And I think I've told you this before.
Yeah.
This is what I try to talk to girls on this.
Laid on thick.
Get pooped on 11.
We were friends on AIM. I'm pretty sure.
That was my AIM name.
This is back in the MySpace days too. I'm pretty sure we talked to each other on AIM a little bit.
I think so. Yeah. Get pooped on 11. And dude, I'm like, these girls come up. Hey, you got AIM? I was like, yeah, I got AIM. Like, what's your AIM username?
Get pooped.
Let me write it down for you. Get pooped on 11. They'd be like, excuse me? It's a gaming thing. It's fine.
You're gonna find out.
So many people probably thought I was so weird, dude. But I was like, man, this is funny. This is like, you know, get pooped on. You know, gaming things. Yeah. I say it all the time. It's pretty funny.
That was your thing for a while.
It wasn't my brightest moment. They're gonna learn today. No, it was. What was yours? Was it probably just?
Dude, I went through a bunch.
Yeah, I had a few too, but that was like my main one.
One of my most popular ones was Silly Nilly 007.
Okay.
Had Eat Glass 911. What were some other good ones, dude?
I like that one. Are you telling me you had like burner AIM accounts for like to like chat with different girls?
Absolutely not. No, that was not something that I would do. I was never that popular.
I bet you did.
I was never that popular. I wish, actually.
I definitely had multiple.
Dude, I got. Oh man, it's just AIM in general reminds me of a story of one time. This is the first time I ever got played. Okay. Like hardcore played by a woman. I'm talking to this girl. I know who she is. She's mutual friends. I had never met her in person, but she was friends with my stepbrother, and she lived in the neighborhood. So my parents are split. I live with my mom, and I would go visit my dad on the weekends. All right. My stepbrother lived with my dad, and I would go over there, and I knew she lived in that neighborhood. Okay. And so we started talking on AIM, and and like I thought we really hit it off, you know, and it wasn't like we weren't old enough to like pursue relationships or anything like that, but I thought we were like becoming really, really good friends. And then all of a sudden one day I get this message from oh my God, I remember it because the name was it traumatized me. The name was Bubble Buddy 69.
Bubble Buddy
from SpongeBob. It was Bubble Buddy 69, and they were messaging me, and it was her, and she was pretending like it was like one of her friends, and she was like, yeah, Sam doesn't like you, it was all a joke, like it was dude, it was crazy. And I was like, oh my God, this is like the worst day of my life. And then literally that weekend I'm at my dad's house and we're all riding bikes, and guess who pulls up?
Bubble Buddy.
Bubble Buddy herself. And I was just I didn't have the confidence I do now. And so I just like looked at her really, really passive aggressively on my bike, and I was just like,
then you rode off quickly,
and then I rode off.
Did you do a wheelie too? Show off a little bit?
No, I couldn't do a wheelie.
Oh, you couldn't do a wheelie?
No. I mean, I could pop one, but I couldn't like,
you couldn't like ride it? Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
It was,
so I mean, yeah, that's the nostalgia trip that I had for us, everything I had planned.
Could you do one of those, I don't know what you call it, an Indo, where you like you put you put your foot and then you like that, and then you go over the handlebars, and then you cry because you bust your chin on the cement?
I had a bike one time that didn't have brakes. And
that's not smart. How'd you stop? Just drag your feet?
My feet.
Oh my gosh, you're that kid. You're that kid riding around dragging their feet.
We was broke.
Okay.
What do you want from me?
Fair enough.
So, but we were racing one time, and I was racing. There was two girls that lived in like near me at the time, and they were like, "Oh, let's race." And of course, I had to show off in front of them, and I couldn't let them beat me. So I had to be like the fastest person ever, right?
Oh no.
And so I'm zooming fastest I've ever taken this bike, and I'm just pedaling my little ass, and I'm looking behind, you know, they're way behind me, and I'm like flexing hard as shit. I'm like, yeah, what's up? Don't have any. Again, I don't have brakes on this bicycle. No. The parking lot in which we were racing in, it was a really long, like just kind of skinny parking lot, and then it just ends into a bridge, which goes over a creek, and a dumpster was one of the big like industrial dumpsters.
Oh no.
And I'm flooring. I look back, I look in front of me, dumpster's there. I smoke it, flip over my handlebar, smoke my head on the metal dumpster, and I'm just sitting there. And the thing was, it all happened so quickly. I was crying but I was crying because of the embarrassment, not because of the pain. They both ride up next to me, and they stop their bikes like I don't know, like people with normal bikes can do, and they get off and they're like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" And I'm sitting there like, "Yeah, I'm okay," but also I'm super embarrassed. I'm gonna lay here and cry while you guys go tell my mom that I'm not okay. That's what happened.
Oh man, dude, what's with you? You know, wait, okay, so I mean, you can go back and watch our old podcast to hear this story, but you've been hit by a car.
Yeah,
and you run into dumpsters with your bike, man. You just
dude at E3, it was the first time on a
oh my
scooter.
God, that's right. And you almost
first time,
shit.
Dude, just me and wheels. I like to keep my feet on the ground where they belong. We're at E3. Yeah, Brennan suggests that we take the scooters, the electric scooters.
Limes are the best.
They're you
so
know what
fun.
I will say they are they're very efficient, they're easy to use, accessible, awesome. I do like them,
and they're fun. Mention the fun.
They're fun. They're super fun, the most fun actually.
They're so fun.
We're like, oh yeah, let's go ride one to get to where we were going. I'm like, cool, let's do it. So I jump on a Lime, and now in my defense, in the area I live, we don't have bike paths. We don't. So we don't have like separate lights for vehicles and for bikes. So we're scootering along, all of us, and I see a green light. So I'm like, we can make it. I'm screaming up because Brennan's in front of me. And Brennan's like, it's red. And I was like, what? And I'm flooring it. And Brennan just casually stops his, and I'm flooring it. And he's like, it's red. So like, instead of like, it was either I run into Brennan or like I try and stop immediately. And so I literally jump off this scooter. And have you ever been smoked in the Achilles? I feel like I'm saying smoke too much. Have you ever been hitting the Achilles with a razor scooter on accident?
Oh, yeah. I think everybody that's a razor scooter.
Can relate to that.
Yeah.
This, I'm gonna do a visual representative of what happened to me. So if you're listening to this, I apologize.
Better describe it with audio.
The scooter hit my left Achilles.
It rotated.
And because I was running and it was stuck between my legs, it hit my left Achilles and I kicked it to my right Achilles and then kicked it back to me. So this thing was just back and forth, just ruining my ankles until I finally was able to stop completely. And then have everyone laugh at me.
He instantly looks at me and he just goes, he kind of gives me this look like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you stopping? I'm like, it's red, bro. You better get hit by a car.
Brennan explained to me that
there's
there were
separate lights
for the
which is
the
okay.
bike
In your
traffic.
defense, that is a little weird. And I usually wouldn't have noticed it. But I've been liming on that street a couple times recently, so I kind of realized it.
Well, I still don't know why that vehicles would be able to go straight and bikes couldn't.
Yeah,
it still doesn't make sense to me. My ankles are still paying for it. I'm pretty sure my left ankle is scarred from it, but enough about me.
Anyway, it was quite the experience. So apparently you and wheels don't match.
Yeah, no, dude. I don't like it. I don't like it.
So on to do we have no more nostalgic stuff, right?
No, that was it. I appreciate you taking that trip with me.
Yeah, dude. I mean, man.
It's fun. A lot of good stories.
We're going to have to do that again. I think we can get... Yeah, I know. I agree. Exactly, because it brings back so many memories. Yeah. I think we should do that again. Like, we'll do other items that are nostalgic and try to see if we can rekindle or bring back some memories.
You come up with a few next time.
Okay, I will.
All right?
Okay, so one thing that I guess we, obviously we're streamers here on Twitch. We both play video games pretty much every single day. We're huge gamers. Let's talk about games a little bit. Let's talk about... okay, here's my thing. I recently, and I've been talking to my chat about this a lot, I have felt like there's been kind of a low point in games right now. Like I have been so bored of pretty much everything. I've got my usual games that I'll bounce around to that like always I enjoy playing, but there's really been nothing that's really truly kept my interest or that I'm like excited to play every day.
Until next month.
Until September 6th. 2019, which is going to be the release of Gears 5. Gears 5. Now, we played the tech test, which is it wasn't essentially it wasn't a beta, but it was a stress test on the servers to kind of just test the kind of how the game would run if there was any issues with drivers and people's hardware.
Literally stress the servers in the system.
Yeah, exactly. See if it works with people's systems. It wasn't a true beta, but we did get to play for 2 different weekends. Well, technically, I only got to play for one because I was traveling the other weekend. But man, Gears 5 felt fantastic. Amazing. Like it's the first Gears of War in the series that has a 60 hertz tick rate. The servers are 60 hertz, which is ridiculous.
So good.
I know. I think that was the major difference in just how smooth and how the hit rate
felt.
It felt very consistent. And this is actually the very first Gears of War. So this is the very first Gears of War that I will be starting from day one on mouse and keyboard. I've been making the transition over because Gears of War 1 obviously started on the Xbox 360 in 2006. We've been playing the entire series on a controller ever since. And then Gears 4, the last couple of months, I decided to check out on PC and play on mouse and keyboard. Because
you're mostly a PC gamer now.
I am.
Fully anyways.
Yeah, I play pretty much.
Really good at it. It's hard to go back and forth.
It is. It is. And once you get used to
the same level of play.
Exactly. Once you get used to the control of a mouse, and you get your aim down and you feel comfortable on it, it is really hard to feel like you're as accurate on a controller. Now, don't get me wrong. Sure. I know there's some people out there that are absolutely amazing on a controller. I feel like I was pretty decent on a controller at one point. Like I could easily hold my own. But now, because I've spent so much time on a mouse and keyboard, that is not the case. So in Gears 5, mouse and keyboard, I love the tech test. I had a blast with it. I know you played even more of it than me. Shoot, you hit level 100, which was the max before you could re-up, right?
I hit level 100. I think you could re-up in the tech test. I didn't because I didn't see a point because there's no way I was reaching level 200.
Right.
But I did hit level. I finished the tech test level 100 and masters, which is the highest rank that you could get. There's tiers within Masters, but I reached Masters.
So Masters is new because it wasn't in Gears 4.
It's new to Gears of War in general, yeah. So yeah, I basically beat that tech test to death.
You did. You did.
But it was so this is what was the best part. So after not playing Gears in particular for a long time, you go back and there's like a warm-up period, right?
Yeah.
Like you need to get reacclimated with the game itself because it is pretty different from a lot of the games that are out currently and a lot of games that we play currently. The Gears tech test, immediately going in, I felt very comfortable with it. It felt like something that was very familiar to me, and it felt very smooth. After the tech test was over, we went back to Gears 4. We played that, and it was rough.
Yikes.
And that's how I knew that Gears 5 is what I thought it was, and it's going to be fantastic because we went back to Gears 4 and I'm like, man, all I could think the whole time was I wish Gears 5 tech test was still here. I wish the Gears 5 tech test was here because it was rough.
It was. I mean, it's just the changes they made from Gears 4 to Gears 5. I think really, truly the big difference is the difference in servers. Going from 30 tick rate to 60 is just such a massive jump. So I cannot wait until the Gears 5 actually officially launches. But so September 6th is when Gears 5 launches. We have been doing a Gears of War playthrough, though, series playthrough, to actually get us ready for the launch of Gears 5. So we've been
caught up with the story.
Yeah, so we're just kind of we're just going through the story, all the Gears of War games. We started with Gears of War Judgment. We just finished Gears of War 1. We were playing the Ultimate Edition of the game, which is kind of a remastered edition. And then we're gonna play Gears of War 2, Gears of War 3, and Gears of War 4. We're gonna have to do it here in the next couple weeks. That way we are finished by the time Gears of War 5 comes out.
I know some of the newer games get a little lengthy, but I'm pretty sure we could knock it out.
I think we'll be good.
So if you guys are interested in that, we stream it on Twitch. I know Brennan's uploading them to YouTube as well, so should be there if you guys are interested. If you're listening to this and you want to check it out, get caught up with the story with us.
Yeah, that way when Gears of War 5 launches, we'll be streaming it day one. I think we're gonna try to split day one up like half single player, half multiplayer. It's
gonna be hard not to jump into multiplayer.
It's gonna be very hard.
I want to get the story done and over with, just so we've done it, and it's like it's fresh. But also, I feel like if we don't play multiplayer, we're gonna fall so far behind.
We have to.
In the competitive. Yeah,
we have to.
So we'll see.
We might even. I'm even thinking about maybe just doing multiplayer day one. We'll see though, because that's how into multiplayer I am. But we will be playing the Gears of War 5 story.
I'm more down for that. I'm more down for playing multiplayer day one, and then because I'd rather just not break up the story. We play the story, we beat the story.
Yeah, do it all.
Caught up with the story. We feel the story.
But apparently, this is the longest one. I don't know if we'll be able to do it in one sitting. Because it is the longest one of the series, and I remember Gears 4 being pretty lengthy.
Pretty lengthy, yeah.
So like I don't know if this will. I don't even know if we'll be able to do it in one sitting, unless we just man mode it and do a 20-hour stream, which is, oof. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know.
We've done it before. I'm not opposed to it.
I'm 28 now, man. 20-hour streams are like.
I'm getting old.
I'm dying, dude.
I did 12-hour streams for the tech test, dude, and that was like. Oof.
That was lengthy. Yeah. Those were the longest streams I'd done in a minute, like a long time. So, but I'm excited. That's the thing. The excitement itself might be able to carry me into a 20+ hour stream because I just love the Gears of War playthrough. But are there any other like upcoming games that you're actually excited for?
I mean, new COD I'm always excited for.
Modern Warfare looks good.
I've heard a lot of good things about the game itself and the new modes that are coming out for it. So, I mean, yeah, I'm always excited for a new COD.
I mean, I was watching Shroud play it, so they did kind of a reveal, and they allowed a select number of streamers to actually stream it on Twitch early, and I was watching Shroud because I was like, if I'm going to watch this game, I want to see the best gameplay. Shroud.
He was playing on PC.
And he was playing on PC, so I was like, okay, I'm going to watch it. It looks so good. It looks like they finally... they're finally making a jump and trying to truly change the Call of Duty formula. It looks almost like it's still Call of Duty, but it's almost like a mix of Insurgency. I don't know if you've ever played Insurgency.
No.
So Insurgency is a very like hyper realistic shooter, but it just kind of has some of this. I don't know. It just gave me an Insurgency vibe. There's no mini map, which is going to be ridiculous. It's a completely new engine. I think
like competitive COD.
It's gonna be fun, man. And there's a 20 versus 20 game mode. It's gonna be cross-play.
That's interesting. Okay.
I'm excited for it.
A lot of good things. A lot of good things, basically. Is what's
a lot
happening.
of good things. It just looks like they really,
When does that drop? October, November?
I think in October, actually.
Okay.
I think it drops a little bit earlier this year. Yeah.
Because
So,
I know new Borderlands drops right after, the week after.
Borderlands 3 is coming out. Yep, very, very shortly after. We've got NBA 2K20.
20, always, yeah,
which
always.
We always play, that. You know, my career, doing our thing on that, you know, playing a little park here and there. That's always a good time. Of course. And of course, I mean, my most anticipated game coming out, which we still got a ways to go. Number 1 on my list, Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah.
There's no game that I think I'm more excited for that game than I am Gears 5. Gears 5 is, I think, my number 2.
I mean, that's just like a staple. Cyberpunk's brand new.
It's brand new.
It's something brand new that we can get our hands on and get immersed in. Like, yeah, no, I completely get it.
And with after going through The Witcher 3, I mean, I am so excited to see what CD Projekt Red put together. You know, I think they are they're top tier developer right now. There's very few development teams that are as good as them. Just with the polishing on their games, the content they put in their games, just with how much work and effort they go into it, it's ridiculous. And just the idea, I mean, it's so bold and ambitious, but if anyone's going to be able to complete it, I think it's going to be CD Projekt Red. Obviously, a huge shout out to Naughty Dog. We're going to be, you know, Last of Us 2 on the way.
Ooh. Which
is going to be absolutely incredible as well. That's top 3.
I'm ready. I might not be ready.
I think my 3 games that I'm most excited for: number 1, Cyberpunk 2077, Gears 5, and then The Last of Us 2. Now there are a few more great games. The new Star Wars game coming out.
New Animal Crossing as well.
Okay, well.
And listen, bro, you're not gonna knock Animal Crossing.
Okay, fair enough.
As well as I gotta give shout out to Pokemon Sword and Shield coming out later this year.
Yeah, dude,
I'm a big Pokemon dude.
You are. I mean, what was the most recent Pokemon games on the Switch?
Let's Go.
How much did you play?
Well, honestly, not as much as I played a lot of other games, but I put like 80 hours in the first.
No, you put more into that into the Pikachu one.
Yeah. Okay. So now you're just calling me out on all fronts. I did own both, and I played one on stream and one off stream. So I don't know how many hours. It was a lot though.
I thought it was like well over 100 hours.
I beat the game. I got a living dex, and then we were working on a shiny living dex. If anyone knows or cares what that is,
I'm sure there is. Shinies, man. Who doesn't love some shinies?
Shinies, dude.
Everybody loves their shinies.
We were farming shinies, and it was huge, man. It was really, really good for the channel too. People love watching. And you know what's funny is shiny hunting itself was so boring. Yeah. It was like you literally just sit and wait. And for whatever reason, people loved it.
They love hunting for shinies, man.
But that's the thing is, like, I could sit there and be patient, and then like 30 minutes after looking for one Pokemon, be like, "Oh my god, it happened! It's here!" and get super excited about it. But I don't understand how other people were watching me get excited. I don't know, man. It worked.
Love it.
I loved it.
That's the thing, man. There's really no formula for this kind of stuff. Like sometimes, like you'll play something just super unique, something kind of odd, and people love it. They just they rave about it.
That's what's so hard now, especially because I just feel like streaming in general, not just Twitch, but streaming in general is just very, very oversaturated. I equated it to too many chefs in the kitchen. There's not enough people to eat the food.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
But I recently had someone come into the stream and be like, "Hey, do you have any tips? I'm trying to start streaming. Do you have any tips for me?" And it was like the first time, like I remember back in the day, I'd be like, "Oh yeah, just have fun what you're doing, play what you like, be consistent." Like I had like a list in my head of things that you could start with.
But now everyone
asked me that question. He asked me that question, and I didn't have a genuine answer.
Yeah,
like
it's hard. The formula changes, man. And it's, I mean, even for me, I mean, I've been doing it a long time. I feel like at one point I really knew the formula. I knew what success required. And now it's completely shaken. I mean, it's completely different. The landscape's different. And you got to do what you think is best. You got to try to change some things up. But that's a different discussion for a different time. We could talk about that forever. I don't think anyone truly knows. There's a lot of luck. And a lot of timing is very, very important. Being in the right place at the right time can be a huge, huge 100%. Impact. So, but I think we're kind of nearing the end of the podcast. I mean, it's
been an hour and a half already. I know you got some stuff to get to.
I do. We got to keep it moving. But this has been episode 1. We are, I think, gonna send it over to the chat. If you guys are watching this on Twitch right now, if you guys have any questions for us, we're going to take a few questions. If they're good questions, y'all are silly sometimes. But if you guys have a good question to ask, we may answer it. So if you guys have any questions to ask right now, put them in the chat. We'll see what we can do for you guys. As you guys are thinking of some questions, I just want to reiterate, we will be doing this podcast bi-weekly. So every other Monday is what we're going to be shooting for. And that might change, based on, sometimes we got traveling coming up. Sometimes we got other stuff. Yeah. So that is subject to change. It's not set in stone, but that is going to be what we shoot for.
We're going to do our best.
Yeah, we are absolutely going to do our best. So every other Monday, we are going to be bringing on guests. We're going to be talking about an assortment of topics. It's not always going to be the same thing, obviously. And I will be trying to put this podcast on iTunes, Spotify, pretty much anything else that you guys are interested in
which
getting
I'm actually really, really excited about, because that was always the goal of mine. I remember when we first started this, I was just really, really into podcasts, working at the factory and stuff. I listened to podcasts all the time. That was what got me through the factory. And I was like, man, you know what? It'd be really, really cool if I could be that for someone else.
Yeah.
And we did it. And it's always been just like a YouTube thing or a Twitch and YouTube thing. But now it's cool. It almost feels more official.
It does. It feels far more official than back when I think we started. And it's way more accessible. It is. Everyone can get it.
We tell you that it's on Mondays. We're streaming it on twitch.tv/GoldGlover, Vern Notice. But not everyone can make it.
Exactly.
So now you can tune.
You can subscribe to podcasts on your phone on iTunes, and then it'll download automatically every week, and you'll have it right there ready to go, even if you somehow miss it live. So I did see a question, which I think this is beautiful. We got to talk about this, which has been pretty much one of the biggest topics of discussion probably this week for all of gaming and just all these platforms. Ninja has signed and moved over full-time to Mixer, which is a separate streaming platform owned by Microsoft. He completely left Twitch. He was I might have to check this, but I think he is the largest individual streamer on Twitch with the most followers, right? Or he was.
Probably.
I think.
Yeah.
He has officially moved over to Microsoft or to Mixer full-time. And he is no longer on Twitch. How do you feel about that? What do you think about that?
I literally don't. Well, for us in particular, I genuinely don't see a downside to it. Ninja, we've known Ninja a very long time. Great dude.
Yeah.
I'm glad that he's doing what's best for him. I'm going to say this, and people can take it how they will. I saw a clip of this from another streamer, and they were like, I'll credit him, Yasuo. He's a League streamer, but he was like, Ninja has already reached his peak on Twitch, right? He's not going to get any bigger than unless he's streaming with Drake this man streamed with Drake and Travis Scott and Logic, right? On a stream. He's already reached his peak on Twitch. Why not go to another platform and push the boundaries there? And it kind of makes sense. He had to start in Halo. Obviously, Mixer is Microsoft's baby. I don't know. It could be really good. And I feel like with probably one of the biggest streamers we'll ever see ever make a move to that platform, it might encourage. It's going to be huge for Mixer in general. But I think it also might kind of bring more opportunities for us as the sea kind of divides. I feel like
competition is important.
Yeah,
I think,
and I think it'll bring. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I mean, to kind of add to that, competition is important in any field. It forces both platforms to make their platform even better. And to be honest, it's going to be very interesting to see what Twitch does to kind of answer this, because I don't think anyone's naive to the fact that Mixer gave a very large amount of money to Ninja to bring him over to the platform.
But they did that with a lot of creators.
They've done it with creators, but nothing like Ninja. But this is, I'm assuming, and I don't know the details. I'm not gonna give you guys exact details because I don't know them.
Speculate.
But I am pretty well versed in the scene. I know usually what type of deals streamers can get doing these types of moves, and I would not be shocked if it was a multi-year you know, many millions. I mean, multi-million dollar contract over the course of many years.
Easy.
Now, for his future, this was I think one of the, I mean, it's a no-brainer. It's an absolute no-brainer for Ninja.
Job in general, job security.
Job security,
now
and
he
you just
has it.
and exactly, and you know, he knows exactly how much he's going to make every single year. He knows he's going to be okay, and I'm sure if he wasn't before, he is 100% set for life. His family's taken care of. His future is set in stone, which is just ridiculous. I mean, I'm so happy for him. I think at the end of the day, that's every streamer's dream. You know, when it comes to at least the financial side and the future of it. You know, everyone has a different.
It's building a future.
It is building a future, and the security. You know, that is the scary part. Is you never know how long this stuff's going to be. I mean, shoot, when I started streaming 10 years ago, I never thought 10 years later I would still be doing it, and it would have gotten to the point where I am. It just wasn't even on the radar. I didn't even think it was possible, but here we are 10 years later, and now the biggest name in gaming, Ninja, has now just signed a ridiculous amount of money contract. You know, he is going to be set. I think it's really good for Mixer. I think it was a really good thing for them.
Huge.
You know, I mean, he had 80,000 concurrent day one, which I do not think. I don't know if Mixer's ever hit that kind of number before. I've never heard of that number being hit. So already he's made an impact on it. I think the other people who have been on Mixer, kind of already setting up the platform and creating it, they are going to see. I think they're going to see. You know, the what's the word I'm looking for? The benefits of him, the growth of him moving over to the platform and bringing that many eyes over there. I think it's huge for their platform. And I'm really curious to see how Twitch answers, because, you know, the last thing Twitch wants is for them to potentially
huge partners move over to Mixer.
They don't want to lose anybody else. So I don't know if that means Twitch is going to have to maybe potentially reach out to other content creators on their platform and potentially sign deals with them to keep them locked in. But it's interesting, and it's only good. It's only good for streamers that this happened, because it really uplifts us all. It makes us more important to the platforms in general, and it honestly kind of puts the streamer out in front, meaning they get to dictate the future and kind of their deals.
People are starting to understand the value of the person, of the brand, rather than just like, oh, these are just streamers. They're here. They'd be nothing without the Twitch and stuff. Like, no, these are solidified brands that bring in millions.
Exactly. And Twitch, you know, yes, you know, it's beneficial for both sides, but Twitch would be nothing without the streamers, and technically streamers would be nothing without Twitch. But now that Twitch has been kind of, you know, in the game a long time, it's been established for many, 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 many years. You know, their platform relies on streamers creating that content day in and day out. So I think, you know, monopolies suck. Competition is fantastic. This move over was absolutely monumental, and I'm very, very curious to see how it turns out.
I think it's gonna be good for everyone involved.
I agree.
I was actually really excited, and I'm happy that our dude is still out there killing it.
Hell yeah, he's doing it. So huge shout out to Ninja for you know, securing that bag, because my man's is set.
Securing that bag.
My man's is set. So
I got an interesting question. I don't know if you've seen it, but it kind of ties into the whole Mixer thing. Someone in the chat asked, what do you think about Mixer's content guidelines? I don't know if you saw that on Twitter.
I have not seen their guidelines. Okay, I mean, I think it's a little bit more locked down than Twitch's, from my understanding.
It was very, very strict. Not strict in the sense, it was just very, it was a lot of rules there.
Yeah.
But it was like black and white. Like, this is what you need for this kind of stream. I think what was circulating was, because I didn't read the actual content guidelines from Mixer, but the one that was circulating was about a dress code. And
I did see the dress code.
It was a lot like school rules. Like, if you're wearing a strapless, you have to be in a strapless top or something. You have to be in like this category, or like a adult section. And like, people were kind of like picking at that, like, this sounds like we're a bunch of kids and like being disciplined. But in my head, the first thing that I thought of, while I don't think anyone should dictate how you dress or your appearance or anything like that, one, you're streaming to their platform, but also I think it would be much more beneficial for you to know their guidelines. So if they say like, this is how this breaks down, this is what you can wear, this is what's acceptable, this is what's unacceptable, I feel like it's better for you to know and dress accordingly, rather than like Twitch's policy where like one day this person might, it's like
a lot of gray area.
Because it's not written out in stone.
Yeah.
And so, but also I will say this about Mixer. I feel like they're newer to the game. They've been around a few years now, I think. But they also haven't reached as many eyes as Twitch. They haven't had as many streamers on Twitch. They haven't had as many issues as Twitch. So Twitch is doing their best to handle it as they see fit. Well, yes, this person was wearing, but it accidentally, like, my pants fell down. I don't know. Like, they try to handle it on a case-by-case basis. I don't think Mixer has had that experience yet where they're, like, getting flooded with situations that, sure, like, if they handled it by the content guidelines, like, oh, it's a ban, but that might not be fair in general.
I mean, here's the thing. You know, there's been a lot of controversy about how Twitch has handled things. You know, some people being banned for the same act, and someone else not being banned for the same act. You know, there's a lot of gray area in terms of the rules on Twitch, and I think that a lot of people have a problem with that. I personally think Mixer just kind of setting the rules. This is the rule. If you break it, you're banned. If you don't break it, you're fine. I think that's kind of nice as a streamer. Like, at least you know what you're not supposed to do. If you break the rule, you know you broke a rule and you're banned. You know exactly what's going to happen. Yes, there's always going to be some gray area. I would be very shocked if Mixer did not, you know, they're going to have a team dedicated to that, handle it on a case-by-case basis. But I think having it set in stone is definitely better for a streamer. Agreed. And just understanding. Better for the platform. You have to remember also, Microsoft has kind of they're going to probably try to be more PG friendly. They're going to try to be catered to a younger demographic than Twitch is, you know, with Microsoft backing them. So
they
or Mixer
break down their streams that way. I think, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but they have a PG stream, like 13 and up, and then like family friendly 13 and up, and then like mature content. So you can like literally pick which one you're going into.
So it'll be interesting to see kind of how that goes. But I think you're right. As Mixer gets larger, we may see changes and iterations to those rules. But I think it's smart to just kind of have set in stone rules. You break it, you're banned, or you're at least going to be punished in some way for it. You're going to face the consequences. So that's a good question. I think that is going to be interesting to see the differences between the platforms, especially with so many eyeballs brought in by Ninja. I think this is really going to be. Competition's going to be fierce now. Like not just competition on Twitch, which has already been very fierce. You know, there's so many people, but now you have the platforms kind of going back and forth. So it's going to be good.
Build each other up.
Yes.
Twitch, Mixer, Facebook, all of them.
Everybody.
YouTube.
As long as the whole industry is getting bigger, then that is good for us all, and it doesn't matter what necessarily.
Force each other to get better.
Yep. And let's all grow together. So I think that's a good spot to wrap up Brothers to the End podcast episode number 1. Do you have anything final you'd like to say to the people before we head out?
No, I mean, just a little self-promotion.
Yeah, absolutely.
The podcast will return on Monday the 19th live. Obviously, you can catch that on YouTube, Twitch, and then like Brendan was saying, I'll stream hopefully iTunes and Spotify anytime after that. If you want more of me, you can always follow me on pretty much everything at Vern Notice, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, all that good stuff. Bren?
So if you guys want more from me, you guys can, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can check out the description down below. If you're watching this on Twitch, you can obviously check out the panels. And if you're listening to this, somewhere in the description of where you downloaded this, we're going to put all our links. But we got twitch.tv/goldglove, youtube.com/goldglovetv, twitter.com/goldglovetv, yada, yada, yada. Gold Glove on pretty much everything. You guys will be able to find me. But we will see you guys in 2 weeks on another Monday, the 19th. I'm headed to the UK this week, so hopefully I'll have some good stories, some good content to let you guys know about. And then we'll see you guys then. So thank you guys so much for listening and tuning in to Brothers to the End podcast number 1. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
Feels good.
I know, it does feel good, doesn't it? It's good to be back, brother. It's good to be back.
It's good to be back.
We'll see you guys in 2 weeks for another episode, for episode 2. And we'll see you guys then. Take it easy.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Oh, dude, that went so... Return all of the fire. It's a one-man single give aside. Put your gun, trigger.
and bring your skin up.